Thank you very much. So the paper I presented today is about how immigrant political integration is related to immigrant labor market integrations. We studied this in Norway. Norway is a very interesting case, first of all because the share of migrants is large, secondly because they are enfranchising immigrants for local election just after 3 years in the countries. So this allows us to study when and why immigrants decide to become candidates. Our simple theoretical contribution says that there is a trade-off between labor market earnings and the gains they would get from becoming politicians. And through this trade-off and the opportunity cost, measuring the opportunity cost of running, we're able to say that as the opportunity cost of running measured in our case by the returns to labor market experience increase, the probability of running decreases. And this also allows us to study the selection of immigrant candidates with respect to the selection of native candidates. And these changes in the opportunity cost between the two groups somehow explain the changes we observe in the probability of running between immigrants and natives. And what is interesting also is that this mechanism holds across different types of parties, so across different ideology, more labor, left-wing oriented parties, and it holds also in the right-wing parties. It holds across different party structures, and it's most likely to be driven by individuals that are more linked to the labor market, so with higher labor market participations, people that are more likely to be elected. And finally, it seems to be independent of the political culture the individual had back home, the immigrant had back home. It's independent of the linguistic distance of the individual back home. And it's also independent of their attachment to the country, to Norway in this case.